there! The cat likes me. Today we'll have a look at a pen that I know many of you have eagerly anticipated. I did not buy this pen. I got this pen for review purposes from Appelboom Pennen, and I will be sending this pen back. Just so you know. Okay, the pen. Let's have a quick look at the box. I have shown Pelikan boxes quite a lot, but if this is new to you, you may want to see it. Pelikan always has these interesting, I always find them a bit coffin-like with the flat end, and then you pull this off, and then you get a fake leather, also known as faux leather, pouch. I wonder if people really use these to carry their pens around in. They have a plastic fake seal and a little rubber band. It's cute. It looks like a letter, that seal. To be honest, it doesn't do that much for me, but people like this. Okay, you have the little pen bed, and then you have in there, I don't want to destroy this because I have to send it back, you get a Moments of Joy booklet, and you get your little guarantee booklet, etc. The cat is now licking the thin paper, so I'm going to remove it from her. Here we have the pen. This is an M805 Stresemann. And as I said, I know this has been eagerly anticipated, so I'm excited to be able to review it. The Pelikan M800 I think is a very nice pen. I've reviewed the M800 in tortoiseshell brown. The nice thing about the M800 is that it's a good sized pen, but it's not so large that it becomes uncomfortable to use for people who have normal or smaller sized hands. The M1000 is definitely bigger. So I like that. Now these pens, you typically get them in green or black, but the Stresemann has a very nice, very classy grey stripe, which for some reason really reminds me of film noir. Whenever I look at this, I think film noir. Okay, it has rhodium accents, and what I'm going to do is cover the parts of the pen. I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then I'll do a writing sample. Alright, let's start at the finial, the top of the cap right there. I don't know how well you can see it in this light, but there is a little Pelikan on there feeding its baby. Then you have this clip. The clip, as you may well know, is a stylized Pelikan. You got the eyes there and then the bill right there. The cap is black, as you can see, rhodium details. On the center band it says Germany Pelikan Souverän, and that's it. And I've always liked this design with the center band and a little bit of black and then the thinner ring. Okay, now here you see those beautiful grey stripes. As always, on a video you never really know how it turns out, but check out some pictures online if you want to see it. I find it a very pretty, deep, dark grey. Then you have the piston turning knob. These are piston fillers, so put them in the bottle of ink, turn it, and it draws up ink. The cap unscrews. I've always enjoyed this. I'll come back to that in a second. And this, in this case, it's a medium nib, but you can get them in extra fine, I believe. In any case, fine, medium, and broad. And there used to be such things as double broad and triple broad, but Pelikan, in its infinite wisdom, has discontinued those. I have always loved Pelikan nibs, not just for the writing performance, but also for how they look. Very nice scroll work. It has that Pelikan logo on it, and this says 18C750 for the gold content, and then M for medium. They are gold, but rhodium plated, so it looks like silver, but it's not. Alright, you have the good feed, you have the very nice section, which I've always enjoyed, and you have these threads. Okay, in all, as I said, a decently sized pen. It's definitely not a small one, and it posts for a very, very pleasant, although somewhat large, writing experience. Okay, what do I like about the pen? What do I not like about the pen? Well, as I said, I've always liked the M800 model. Personally, I prefer an M1000. That's also a lot more expensive. I think this is a very, very nice model. And as I've quoted before, Peter Twiddle in his excellent book on fountain pens has actually called this the ultimate pen. Excellent capacity, easy to maintain, nice size, and I agree with him. A very decently, nicely sized and shaped pen. I like that. I like the Pelikan nibs. Pelikan nibs typically offer a little bit of spring. Don't get all excited, they're not flex nibs, at least not the modern ones, but they do have a little bit of spring, giving a little bit of yield as you write, making for a very pleasant writing experience. They're very smooth, very pleasant to use. I really like that. Also, what's nice is that you can buy separate nib units. You have to look around a bit on the internet for that, but you can find them. And you can just unscrew this nib unit and put in another nib unit. And what's really cool is that the vintage nib units typically fit. So you can get a full flex nib unit. I have one for an M400 that you can put on a modern M200 or M400, and then you can write with full flex and a vintage nib. Very cool. The Pelikan still uses the same measurements. Okay, so that's what I like about it, and of course the looks, the grey, the dark grey, very cool. Things I don't like about it so much. These are expensive pens. They're not cheap, especially these special editions, right? Usually, as far as I understand it, with Pelikan, the round numbers like M800, M1000 are standard editions, and the special ones like this one are M805, M1005, etc. So they are special editions, they're only produced for a limited amount of time. They're expensive. Bear in mind, you will get a fairly large solid gold nib, 18K, with a bit of spring. You will get a piston filler, but in the end, it's a resin pen. You know what resin is, it's actually plastic. So, for some people, I know this will not be worth it. And that's to each his own. What you will get is a good pen with a very nice writing performance. I just saw this morning on Twitter that someone commented on his Stresemann. He said, my piston turning knob and the barrel are not flush. I know that's the case in all Pelikans I have used, except I think for my vintage 400 NN, I think. I never really paid it much attention, but you're right, that could be an issue, and I do think it would look very cool if it would be flush. Okay, so that's one thing. Second thing I wanted to say is, with the Twisby wrench you can unscrew the piston of M800 and M1000s. Could be useful if you want to do some home maintenance. Other things I don't really like, because that's what I was talking about. I find the threads a little sharp, and the section is not huge. So for me, if you have the somewhat larger fingers like I do, can get a little in the way, and that is a bit sharp. However, if you make an effort to really hold it the way you should hold it, it's not a big deal. Okay, so for me, that's pretty much it, because apart from that, I like the pen, well made, good eye for detail, everything fits together nicely. I can't come up with things I don't really like. So, there you have it, the M800 Stresemann. Joost, thanks again for sending it to me. It's going to come back to you as soon as possible. Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. We should see a writing sample next. I hope this was useful, and I'm glad to see you later. Bye bye. Alright, so here we go with the Pelikan M805. That was not a skip, that was me mislining the nib. Stresemann. The nib is medium. That's a very strange M, I'm sorry. And the ink is De Atramentis. Charles Dickens. It was the best of inks. It was the worst of inks. Writing, I have to say, is nice and smooth. I really like the way this nib feels. Okay, a bit of fast writing. They have it, no skips, really pleasant. As to wetness, well, no complaints there. It's definitely a nice, well-tuned nib. As to line variation, as you can see, you can definitely squeeze out some line variation there, which I really enjoy. Maybe some reverse writing. As you can see, it is a possibility. It turns out to be a slightly, well, italic-like nib, and when you try that, I think you get a little bit of line variation, and it does seem to work well without drying out, so that's very cool. Joost, thanks a lot for sending me this pen. If you like to have one, you can always go there, Appelboom Pennen, and you can use B.R.E. Brown's reduction coupon code, discount code I mean. So, I hope this was useful. This pen will be sent back to Joost, and hope this was useful. Gladly see you later. Bye bye.